So Sony has decided once again to back out of E3. E3 2020 will be devoid of PlayStation. And the main sentiment I'm seeing online is disappointment and heartbreak. And I get it, it does sting quite a bit, but looking at it through Sony's perspective, it just makes so much sense. I think it's frankly a smart move. Look at the last couple of years for PlayStation. It's been record-breaking in terms of hardware and software sales. Every single exclusive that comes out for PlayStation has broken some kind of record, and that's without a big stage public appearance. That's without E3, that's without even PSX. They just don't need it anymore. Look at Nintendo. They haven't needed it for years. They've been doing this for years. They're the proof. They're the fact of the matter. Nintendo Directs happen randomly on a Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning in the US, and no one cares. It just happens. They're about to reveal a new Smash Brothers character soon, and the way they're going to do that is just Sakurai sitting in a conference room with a camera on him. I honestly think in the long run, the way that companies show off their big games are going to change. I really do, and I think that this is sort of the beginning of that. I think that last year was sort of the beginning of that. Last year at E3, things felt a little bit awkward. Things felt a little bit weird, and that's not just me saying that. I'm sort of echoing the sentiments that I've heard from people in podcast and just games coverage in general. Everyone was sort of saying that this feels a little bit weird, EA being there but not being there, and Microsoft is not really even a part of E3 at all. They have their own venue and their own event, and it feels really disjointed and awkward and stilted, and it's kind of falling apart for the ESA. And not to mention all of the information that they leaked. Journalists, many journalists had their identity leaked online, social security numbers and stuff, and that's terrible. That is absolutely horrible. And the way the ESA treated that was terrible, and just their public image and their public messaging has just been disastrous as of late. Even, with Sony saying this, even Sony coming out and saying, hey, we don't want to be at E3 this year. The way that they came back on that just felt weird. And kind of unprofessional in a way, and their language is just so yucky and corporate and just greedy. And there was actually some documents that leaked regarding the future of E3. ESA had some documents leaked. It talked about how there's going to be a more public push for E3, which I actually think that was sort of the beginning of the fall, in my opinion, was when they opened the doors to the public. I think essentially the main issue is that the ESA wants to have their cake and eat it too. They want it to be this big public event, but they also want to drag developers down and have journalists cover the games that they're bringing, and it's just those two audiences don't mesh well together. It's hard for the press to even play the games because there's just too many people there. 3-hour waits to play Breath of the Wild, that's not cool. That's insane. For someone that their job is to play that demo and write about it or talk about it, that's horrible. That's mistreatment. And that has been happening every single year, and it's getting worse and worse every single year. And I honestly think it's going to be worse this year. The statement that they had talking about activations, talking about influencers having a part in the show, I truly believe that they're trying to make it a sort of Comic-Con thing where you can come in and buy a couple of t-shirts, get Ninja's autograph, get Shroud's autograph, take some pictures, but also play a brand new game on PS5? I just don't think that works. I really don't. Gamescom has sort of dealt with this in a really fine manner, to be honest with you, because they have press time. They have hours that are exclusive to the press, and E3 just doesn't want to do that. The ESA just doesn't care. And it's weird. I don't think that this company should be running a convention. It's not their expertise, and they continue to do it every single year, and it's falling apart every single year, and it's just weird. So when I started recording this video, I thought to myself, what's the main message here? What am I trying to say in this video? And that's Sony doesn't really need E3. But I think in the long run, and something that becomes a part of the discussion is, does any company need E3? Obviously Microsoft is going to be there. Phil Spencer confirmed we're going to have a presence at E3. We're going to show off the future of Xbox and all these great new games, and that's exciting, that's fine and dandy. I'll be there to watch it, but do they need it really? I mean, look at it this way. Nintendo can have a random direct on any day of the week and get millions of views. State of Plays are starting to get a lot more views lately as well. Sony will probably have a PlayStation event, a keynote, a meeting where they reveal the PS5 and show off a couple of new games. That's their own event. They can have it at their own venue. In New York, there's the PlayStation Theater. It will be there, and they can control the message. That's the thing about E3 is so many games get revealed that the games that get revealed first aren't really talked about by the end of the weekend, and that's unfortunate. There's also indie games that get revealed, and those games people don't really care about by the end of E3. Later on in the year, that game will come out, and people will forget about it. Like, oh man, I forgot that was at E3. I completely forgot about that, and that's sad. Even at the Game Awards, at Keighley's event, there were so many games there that I've started forgetting as we were going on with the show. There was at least 20 trailers. I started forgetting some of them. And then like later on, they were brought up in discussion and podcast and, other videos where I was like, holy crap, that was revealed. I forgot about it. Remember that weird game where there was like a weird alien monster crawling on the beach? Or remember at the Microsoft press conference last year, there was this weird game called like Shadow Tokyo or something where there were these weird deer that had like glowing horns that were like walking through overgrown train stations and stuff. Like, what was that game? I barely remember. I vaguely remember it, and that's just so unfortunate. With having your own events, with having your own direct content, no pun intended, you control that message. You are the spotlight's on you throughout that whole day, and people will be talking about that one thing because there's not something big after it. It's just that. And I think that Microsoft will start to see that. PlayStation's starting to do it. Nintendo has been doing it. I think that Nintendo Directs are the future of how to show off games, how to show off your content, your message. I think that is how you do it. I truly believe that. Again, as I mentioned, Sakurai is going to be revealing a new Smash character soon, and that's in, again, a conference room. That's just him sitting down. And I think that just adds so much more transparency, just having developers just talk about their game. I think it feels more natural, to be real with you. I think E3 as a whole isn't necessary. And again, that breaks my heart. If you've been a subscriber on this channel for a minute or two, you know that I love E3. It is my favorite time of the year because I'm greedy. I'm a disgusting person. I love all these games coming at me, all these trailers, CG or not, I don't care. I want to be a part of it. I want to be inside and enveloped in all of the E3 greatness. I love that stuff because, again, I'm a greedy, nasty person. But the average consumer does not need that. The average person, the average human being does not need all of that thrown on their face in 2 evenings. It's just not natural. It's not how information should be given to us. Information should be given to us more steadily and more concentrated and, again, more directed. So I think that's all I really have to say is that, yeah, Sony is backing out of E3. Does it hurt? Yes. Is it necessary? I don't know. See, another thing is that Sony has been weird lately. Their public image and how they've spoken to their fans have been weird. I won't lie. Even the message of them saying, hey, we're backing out of E3, that was weird. Like, the way they structured that was just weird. It sounded weird. I don't think it worked. It was really corporate, and I think that it doesn't need to be that way. And that's, I don't know what Sony's going to do. I don't know if they're even going to have a big PlayStation meeting to reveal the PS5. They might just reveal it in some 3-minute video, or reveal it in a blog post, or reveal it properly in a Wired article like they did last year. So who knows what Sony's doing, honestly. Like, I really think that they're being super experimental. I think they're testing the waters with so many different things. State of play being like carbon copies of a Nintendo Direct. I mean, do that. Make those, those videos on YouTube. Make those directed videos, but you don't have to copy Nintendo. You don't have to like straight up carbon copy something. But that's what they've done, and it's kind of worked. I don't really know. I don't know what the true verdict is there. But again, Sony's been a little bit weird. But I do still believe that they don't need E3. And I think that more and more companies are going to start realizing that E3 as a whole is not that important. Or it is important, but you can do E3 and also something else, like the way Nintendo has done it. You don't have to invest everything into E3. You can spread this stuff around. I'm okay with a trailer for Resident Evil 4 Remake on a Friday. Like, that doesn't bother me. I mean, obviously, I want those E3 press conferences to be bolstered up by crazy reveals, but in terms of like how a company should be run and things like that, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary. I really don't. Anyway, comment below and give me your thoughts on this topic regarding Sony not showing up at E3 this year, or regarding any company showing up at E3. Do you think that it is necessary? Maybe there's a side of this that I'm not looking at. Maybe there's a more corporate sort of business side that I'm not quite looking at. I'm just a random dude talking about this, so I might not have all the facts, but the ESA is an evil corporation, so it's kind of hard to talk up E3 in the light anymore. So again, comment below and give me your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching this video if you got all the way through. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you enjoyed anything that I had to talk about today, and subscribe for more content like this. I, again, would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye-bye.